the show.
No problem. No problem. Thank you for coming on. I really appreciate that. Um, that it was really interesting how we connect. Oh, thank you for that. Woo. Your favorite today. I appreciate that. That Ric Flair, that Nature Boy love. Well, it was really interesting how we connected because I just signed up for that website, and it's called Matchmaker, which sounds like a dating website, but it's
Yeah.
but it's to connect people, to connect guests and podcasts together, and I thought that was really cool. And then so you popped in, but because before you I had like 10 other people who were like, I'm a business owner and I want to be on your podcast, and I wrote a children's book and I want to be on your podcast. And I was like, well, it's a music podcast, so I'm looking for that. So I had to turn a lot of people down, and then you popped in and I was like, well, gee whiz, it looks like this is paying off. The free app that I signed up for is paying off,
See, you needed me.
which is wonderful. Philomena, where are you originally from? I know you're in Rotterdam. Oh gosh, I'm so
Rotterdam.
Rotterdam.
Yeah.
So sorry.
Oh, don't worry, don't worry. Actually, right now I'm in Italy for the holidays.
Oh,
But I'm Italian.
yeah. Which I assumed with a name like Filomena Croce. I'm sorry. I keep doing the accent. It's horrible. I will stop doing that.
Although I'm so used to it, so don't worry, don't worry.
Wait a second. That feels like a compliment. Are you telling me that my Filomena is a good representation of the Italian accent?
Mm,
No, it's not.
from outside Italy, yes, but
Okay.
not from Italy, really.
Right. No one's walking around going Filomena. Well, they might. I don't know.
No, not in Italy. No. So originally, I am Italian.
Beautiful.
I've been living in the Netherlands for 5 years, over 5 years.
Uh huh.
First in Zwolle and then in Rotterdam.
What sort of well, let's back up a little and let me read this right now because one of our one of our chat members here is put down some records, and I wanted to read them out here. By the way, I'll be talking to the chat as well, just so you know, we have like a three-way conversation going on here. So it'll be me and you plus the chat. So if anybody has any questions for Filomena, please do use your fresh bars or your channel points. That helps me keep track of stuff. But Joan Arma Trading, I've never even heard of that person. My goodness, track record, Canadian pressing, Hearts and Flowers, AM. Wow, so you're like a real like vinyl head. See, I like vinyl because I like to listen to it, and I like the fact that it has like this big artwork and stuff. But I don't get into like the pressing dates and like the original, where it was pressed. Are you into vinyl, Filomena? Do you like vinyl? Do you like records?
Yeah, I do, of course. Well, I'm a musician.
Right. Well, I'm saying,
So,
but the actual like going out and buying vinyl, like the record, like a 33 and a half, LP. Are
yeah, no, I don't really do it. I did it for a present,
yeah.
but yeah, I don't really do it. But of course, I
Well,
like
I'm
it.
sure you love music. I mean, how weird would it be if you're like, I don't like music, but I am a musician?
Yeah, I hate my job so much. No, that's not true. Of course. I've been doing it for 20 years now,
Wow, that's
so
awesome.
it's
So
a very long time.
yeah, it is. It is. Oh man, look at you, Gloria Gaynor. Now I know Gloria Gaynor. Wow, look at these like pressings. Yeah, vinyl. My older brother's been collecting heavy metal records. Sweet, that's awesome. Yeah, I got a couple Metallica original pressings that I got from some older cats that gave it to me. Yeah, man, I love those older metal records. So when did you realize that you had a talent for singing? When was that? When did that come into play in your life?
Well, it was pretty long ago now. I was 10,
Uh,
and well, there was an audition at school for a choir, and I participated and I passed it.
ooh.
So I was like, okay, let's do it. And yeah, it was not for a very long time, that one, but after that one, I decided, okay, let's continue and do the next one. So
Yeah.
I went on another choir, and yeah, I just decided that I wanted to keep doing it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And yeah, I was not really thinking about, my talent or anything. It was just, something that made me happy.
Mm-hmm.
So I
Yeah.
continued to do it, and the end it became a job. But it's just something evolving. It was not because I decided that I wanted to
Right.
become a musician. In the end, it just came for itself.
What do you think that you would have been doing if music hadn't come into your life? I often think about this a lot, actually. What do you think that you would have done if music wouldn't have come into your life?
Oh my God, that's such a difficult question.
No, I know because you're just making assumptions, but I mean I think it's fun to think about alternative, uh, timelines. What could have happened, right? What could be? I don't know. I mean, have you ever thought of that? I mean, do you even have it? I mean, because like I'm sure for some people it's like I never thought about anything else. I just want to do music. I don't even care about nothing else. But like in America, we have this thing where we like to tell our artists, our young artists, to not pursue art because it's not a very lucrative path in life. And
Oh, in Italy, it's the
it's
same.
the same. Okay, okay. So yeah, we have no appreciation for our artists, but we want to hear their music once we like them. I don't know. It's a strange relationship I think that we have with art and artists, right? Because on one hand, we love art, we consume art, we listen to music, we go to the museum. But on the other hand, we're telling our children who might have a propensity towards the arts that we shouldn't that you shouldn't go into that field, or make sure you go get an education, go to college, because when you inevitably fail as a musician or an artist, you have something to fall back on and be miserable for the rest of your life. So make sure you go to college and get a degree in something that's that's a viable option for work, which is just a parent looking out for their kid, and it's not like it's a mean thing that they're doing, but I feel like that's something that's sort of programmed into our culture. How is that over in Italy? Is it sort of the same? Like we say, hey, you tell them, you be a musician, but make sure you have something to fall back on. Is that sort of a common thread there too?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. It's the same. I think, yeah, it's, well, maybe not in every country in the world, but
Right.
in many places it's the same. Like
Yeah.
the way of thinking is the same. I've been told that many times.
Yeah.
uh, well, yeah,
Right.
it's
Musicians
normal. Well,
usually hear that a lot.
but I did get 2 degrees, so that's good. In music, though,
Yeah.
in music, so I am a master of music.
Right,
Yeah,
and
but
you've made
yeah,
a
of course,
living off of it, and that's what you do, right?
yeah.
You're full-time musician. So what do you say to people who, looking back, what would you say to people if you know what you know now that would tell you, "Hey, don't go into music. It's not a very stable job." What would you tell them now?
So if they told me to
Yeah, I mean,
me,
yeah, because from your vantage point, looking back, right? Like when you're looking back as a kid, and people are telling you, "Don't do that because of this." Knowing what you know now, what would you say to those people who are saying, "Hey, do something else"?
um, well, probably the same as I did when it
What?
happened.
What? Do-
Anyway,
what?
it's
Do,
just I don't mind, I don't care.
mm-hmm.
Just I just want to do what I want to do, and I don't really care about other people's opinion. Well, I've been hurt
Mm-hmm.
by people's opinions, of
Right.
course. I still am, because it's not that it disappeared completely,
Mm-hmm.
prejudice from people, but
Right.
yeah, I would just ignore it, like I did already.
Which
So
I just ignored it. But what would you say to people who would be like, "Hey, maybe think about another career"? When someone would say that to you, what was your
yeah,
response?
I would say, I really understand your concern. if I put myself in your shoes, well, maybe I would even say the same. But you know, I know that it's gonna be difficult, but I don't care.
Right.
I'm just gonna keep going with what I want to do.
What do you think?
In a very polite way, though. I'm just very kind.
That's very polite. I was very different. I was definitely like, hey, I don't care, you know, like, or I'd cuss, you know. I would say.
Yeah, no, I would say I don't care, but you know, in a very, you know, nice,
in a nice way.
Kind way.
Well, well, that's because you're a nice person. I would be.
Thank you.
I was very, as a young man, I was very full of. I don't know, just lots of anger. So I would have been like, "Hey, f you," or "Screw you," you know, like don't talk to me about that because I'm doing whatever I want and I don't care. Two different approaches. It's a couple way to do things in life, but you know, but I would say take the high road. I would say take Filomena's road. If you're facing that from friends and family, I would say take the Filomena road. Don't tell your friends and family to go F themselves because you don't agree.
No, very chill approach. It's like, okay, you think what you like to think, I think what I like to think. So we have different opinions. That's fine.
How do you think we could change the opinion of people or that mindset of people? How do you think that we would go about changing the mindset to sort of encourage the youth and encourage the future artists instead of sort of putting this, putting this negative roadblock in front of them? And because some people do care what their parents think, right? Or their friends and family think. So if
I also cared, but I couldn't change what they thought.
But you understand that you have to be happy for yourself. Some people are in positions where their happiness depends on the happiness of their parents, you know, like they're expected to be something that maybe they don't want to be. So there are people out there who face, you know, authoritative figures who are sitting there sort of deterring their path. What do you think that could be done to sort of enlighten people and let them know that it's not, you know, it's not a death sentence to go into the arts? How could we educate people? You're an educator.
Yeah, I am an educator. That's true. I'm a teacher. Well, I think in a performance, kind of, you know, if I think of performances, because that's the main thing that musicians do, like besides teaching. Yeah. Well, I think that we would need to make conditions for musicians to live like livable. Like their wages should go up, they should rise. So that's the first thing. Once, you know, musicians would get more money from gigs, from concerts, then, well, of course, maybe parents, they will start, you know, seeing, okay, they will actually earn something. So it's not that they are gonna come back like with $50 only or something, and like while using a gear of $1,000.
Right.
You know?
Right. Yeah.
You know,
no,
it's like that. So if the wages will be higher, then, you know, it will be much better. Musicians will have more money and there will be more opportunities, and like even more musicians would, you know, record more music, because recording music is pretty expensive. Yes. You know, so everything will just get better if, you know, just, you know, owners of, you know, theaters or even restaurants, you know, all those places, they would give more money to musicians and they would treat them with more respect. That's something that sometimes it lacks.
Yeah. Well,
respect.
And that's where sort of culturally it comes into play, right? Where we have, like, culturally, we look at artists as, you know, until they're rich and famous, they're just poor people who are somewhat seen as, you know, lazy, or seen as, you know, just they have no ambition, and because they just want to, you know, play their guitar all day or paint pictures all day and live in this fantasy world. So like this whole, they're like culturally, I mean, including our parents, because they are a part of culture, right? culturally we have this sort of this we suppress it. It's like, please don't do that, but please create something that we can enjoy. It's like it's a very
Yeah, because then people expect musicians to play for free,
they
and
do.
that's so awful. And it's like, how is it?
Yeah.
How is it that you demand
Yeah.
for us to play and to sing and whatever, make music, but you don't want to pay for it?
Wow.
What's the matter?
Right. And
that?
on top of that, they discourage people from going into it. It's like, don't be an artist, but provide free music. It's like,
Yeah, exactly.
it's a very I don't know, it's a very confusing message that we send as a culture. I was always discouraged to pursue music, a career in music. My older brothers were playing guitar and bass on local bands in my hometown, and I wanted to be like them when I was a kid. Oh wow, sorry Calvo, I'm sorry you got discouraged. I was discouraged as well, but but in a very nice way. My parents were like, make sure you get an education, so if the music thing doesn't work out, you have something to fall back on, which is a very nice way of saying, don't do music, you'll fail, do something that will make money.
But sometimes they will tell you will fail.
Oh yeah. Well, that's the thing. Exactly.
That's also.
Exactly.
So it's not only that they will tell you like very kindly and
Right.
just try something else. No, sometimes they will really tell you will fail. So
Yes.
so in general, I'm talking about.
Yeah, exactly. No, for sure. Exactly right. Because not everyone had the fortune of having parents who were encouraging. Because my parents were very encouraging, but again, throughout this whole time that I'm learning music as a child, they're saying, make sure you go to college and don't pursue music, like pursue it as a hobby and not as a profession. That's the message that they've always sent to me. Until they realized that music was the only option, and then they.
Yeah, but I'm not talking only about parents. It's like
everybody.
broadly,
Yes, exactly. It's about friends,
family,
yep.
like acquaintances. People they don't even know you almost.
Exactly.
Yeah.
How were you? How were you encouraged? Were you? Did your family? I know you were saying that some people told you not to, but as you're sitting here as a working professional musician, were your family and the ones who surround you, your close ones, were they supportive?
Some.
So we're back in.
Some of them were supportive. There are a few people I think that actually are the people who really care about me.
Mm-hmm.
They supported me, and they still do. The people that are still left. But yeah, I just think that people that really love you will support you. Whatever you want to do, and
Absolutely.
the rest, we'll just find anything to just say something negative or something.
Yeah, haters.
But
I've
been lucky enough. There are many people actually that now respect my work and respect me and are really happy, and they follow me whatever I do. So I'm really lucky about that.
Yeah,
and they also they follow all my concerts and everything. So
that's wonderful. So then when did you start like performing and start working as a musician? And have you always worked as a musician, or have you had like other jobs like waitressing or working in an office or something?
Yeah, well, I've also worked at restaurants. So that's typical.
It is.
While I was studying. So I've also done other things, and I've been a teacher also for quite some time, not only with music but also with other subjects before doing music. So I've done also other things.
Right.
And with music, well, I've been doing concerts for for 20 years
Yeah.
now, but I did not get paid at the, the first choir. Of
Right.
course, it was, primary school, the end of primary school project
Right.
thing. But yeah. But after some time, of course, I started to get paid, and
Yeah.
I got into university. Like I did my bachelor in Italy,
Oh, okay.
and then I started to of jazz voice, and then I started traveling and performing around the world. I was in the UK for a while. And then I came to the Netherlands. Well, I went because I'm not there right now. But I went to the Netherlands. I've been there for 5 years. I graduated my master's. I had this big project to do with my master's. So even before graduating my bachelor, I was like, I want to do my master, and I will do it in the Netherlands. I already had like a big goal in my head. I needed a little time to do it actually, because I traveled for like 2 years.
Why the Netherlands? I'm curious why you chose the Netherlands to go finish your schooling for your master's.
Well, because I have a friend, and a friend of this friend was studying in the Netherlands, and he put us in contact, and he started to talk about his school, and I was like, oh my God, that's so cool. And I decided that I wanted to go there. In the end, I ended up in another school, not that specific one, but it's still in the same country. And yeah, well, because music education in the Netherlands is good. So yeah, I wanted to go there, and I wanted to go abroad. So I wanted to travel, and I was like, yeah, let's go.
So you've always been sort of have you always had this need and want to travel and see
Not
the world?
always. Not always. I did not think of it until I was like 22. So in
what
like
changed?
8 years ago. So everything happened, like all my travels in the last 8 years. What changed? Because I found a job at a hotel that was still in Italy, but somewhere else in Italy. And it was my first time that I was not at home. And I was doing music then. I was doing the musicals, like entertaining the guests with, music and musicals. It was really nice.
Yeah.
And after that, I thought I just want to keep doing this. And that's why I started, traveling, and I went to the UK. And there is a reason why I chose the UK, of course.
I'd love to hear it.
Because I wanted to learn to speak English, as I am doing right now.
Oh, wow! So you didn't know English? You didn't grow up incorporating English into your
I
life?
studied English. Actually, like my high school was like language oriented.
Oh, okay.
But I had this big fear of talking to people.
Yes.
So I studied English, but I had all the grammar and everything. But when I had people in front of me to talk to or to talk with, I was just completely like I couldn't talk to them.
Yeah.
So I was like saying a few things, but then, oh my God, no, I'm sorry, I don't know how to say this.
Yeah.
So yeah, so I was like, okay, if I want to do my master in the Netherlands, I will need English for that, because my course was in English, of course. And because it was an international master.
Gotcha.
I was like, okay, I need to learn English. What's the best place to learn English? Yeah, of course, the UK, which was in Europe then. So it was also very easy to go to.
Yeah.
Before Brexit. So, yeah.
Before
Brexit, it was easy to go to.
Wow. Because I don't mean to change the subject like this, but what do you need now to get into the UK if you're in Europe since Brexit? Do you have to have like a passport? Like why is it harder to get into?
Oh, because you need a visa.
Visa.
Now.
So because they were part
It's
of the
like going to the US.
Oh, because
Um,
being part of the union, you could move around within Europe and work, and you didn't need a visa or anything like that.
yeah, I
Wow.
could just, go
Oh.
there, and like I did in the Netherlands.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I don't need any like permits. I don't
That's
need
awesome.
anything.
Yeah, yeah.
Just as long as I'm insured and everything, that I'm registered, of course. But I don't need like a special documents
Wow. That's really
to be
interesting. I
there.
didn't realize that that's what the European Union was a part of. I knew like the euro, right? Like the money was a
Yeah,
thing.
the money, that's something also that is
Right,
that.
but I didn't
But
realize that it was almost set up like the United States is. It's like each state you can go there, you can work there, it's fine. You just sort of have to register and do the whole thing. I didn't realize that's what the European Union was sort of accomplishing there too. So now so now you can't do that with the UK. Now you need a work visa and stuff. But when you went to study English, you could just go there, correct?
yeah, I could just go there.
So
So
how
there
does
were
how does that work?
many people going there.
You're 22. You said you're in your 20s.
I was, yeah.
Okay, so
I'm 30 now. So.
okay, that's all right. I'm almost 40. You're doing fine.
Oh,
You're doing fine.
you look younger.
Oh well, thank you. It's the Fenty. It's the Rihanna Fenty that I use. I'm Fenty fresh. Fenty fresh. The so how does that work? Because I don't know. In my stupid brain, I'm just sitting here thinking like at 22, I was trying to learn Spanish. My mom's Mexican. She didn't bother to teach me Spanish because she didn't think I would need it in America. But then I moved to California, which is full of Mexicans. So that went out the window. But in any case, I was like 22 in college trying to learn Spanish, and I got it. I grew up with it. Yeah, I know. What a mean mom. I grew up with it, but like I just wasn't. Well, honestly, I just didn't put in the time or effort to learn it. But how did you? I mean, you said that you studied in high school, so you had a decent base. I studied Spanish in high school, but how does that work? I mean, I just feel like at 22, I was unteachable for other languages, and so I quit. I was like, I'm not doing other languages. I'm doing English. We're going forward. How was that for you? Was it difficult for you, or was it just something that how was the process for you of learning English at
Oh,
22? Like at a because they say that when you're young, you can learn things easier, right? If you teach a kid English and Italian from a young age, they're gonna grow up and they're gonna speak it fine. But learning once you get older and your mind develops, you tend to run into a little bit of problems, retaining information and absorbing it. So I'm just curious, how was it for you?
well, like I said, I was lucky, to have learned all the grammar and everything.
Mm.
So I knew stuff. So
Right,
it's not
you
that I didn't know it.
yeah.
But yeah, actually, it was not such a difficult process then. When
Yeah.
I went to the UK, it came quite naturally. Of course, I remember the first couple of weeks that I was there. I had such a headache the whole time because I was forced to, speak English the whole time
Yeah.
because I could not speak Italian to anyone
Mm-hmm.
there. They would all speak English.
Right.
So I remember it was quite heavy, like the first couple of
Mm-hmm.
weeks, because yeah, I was not used to speak for such a long time
Yeah.
before. So it was all sudden. But yeah, well, in the end, it was easy because I only had to, put in practice what I knew
Yeah.
already,
It's the
which
practice
was
part.
the different instead than with Dutch.
Mm.
Because when I went to the Netherlands, I didn't know anything at
Oh,
all.
yes.
So that's different. That's
Yeah.
very different. And I was also older. Of
Right.
course, when you are young, it's easier to
Mm.
learn. I realize it also now. If I have to learn something now that I'm 30, I'm not old, of course, I'm
No.
still young.
Yeah.
But of course, I realized that, like, compared to 2012,
Mm.
that, well, of course, there is difference
Yeah.
since then.
Right, for sure.
Yeah, so I get, yeah, it gets a bit more difficult.
Yeah, yeah, totally. I think we just get so set in our ways, and we're in the habit of doing something over and over again, and whatever it is, and whatever. And then when you introduce something new into it, it's just like, what is this? But I have my pattern. I have like my schedule. I have what I do. I have what I absorb. This is new. It's scary. For some people, that's really frightening. For me, it's scary.
Yeah.
I like being comfortable, but I don't know. I feel like you don't get a lot accomplished when you're comfortable. Like I really respect that you went and you put yourself in other situations. Like you didn't just try to learn Rosetta Stone, trying to learn English, just by yourself. Like you went to England and was like, I will go learn English from from the English. So it's I really respect that. Are you have you because you were saying that you had sort of you're a bit shy speaking English to people. Is that something that shows itself? Are you shy in general, or are you someone who's very front, up front, like, hey, what's going on? Are you an introvert or are you an extrovert? I guess is what I'm saying.
Uh, that's also a difficult question,
Okay, fair enough.
actually. Why? It depends.
Mm-hmm.
It depends, actually. Like, with who I'm, with in that moment. Um, yeah, I don't know. Sometimes I can be very shy,
Mm-hmm.
and sometimes I'm extrovert, and people tell me that I'm the soul of the party.
Ooh.
So so it's like it really depends, but sometimes I can be very, very shy also.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Wow. Well, no, I get it. It comes and goes. No, I'm similar in that way where once I get comfortable with a situation, I'll start loosening up and start being, talking and having fun and stuff. But boy, it takes me a minute. Like even now, my palms are sweaty just because I'm meeting and talking to someone new. Even though that you're all the way across the ocean and you're just on this screen, and like but I'm still like my palms are sweaty. I'm still nervous, and it's just I just have anxiety. That's just me. I just have it.
Oh
So.
no, don't worry. I was also nervous before starting our conversation, but yeah, the more you talk, the
Mhm.
better it is. Like the more you get
Mm-hmm.
comfortable.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
yeah.
No, and the one of the biggest things that stands out to me when you're like, I gotta go to England to learn English is like, well, it's like that fortitude to push back against those feelings, right? Those feelings of fear, those feelings of looking silly or not speaking English correctly, or like whatever it is, like those fears that you didn't submit to them, that you went and you pushed past that. Because you're just like your ambition was like, I gotta learn English so I can go to the Netherlands and do all, like I just respect that a lot, because you find a lot of people who get scared to push past that, and they sort of stay stagnant, and they don't really do much with themselves. And so I always respect people who go above and beyond and is like, I'm going to England to learn English. It's a very respectable thing to
Thank
do.
you.
uh,
Thanks.
and you speak it well also, so
Oh,
it's
thanks.
a very it's which
Thank you
I just
so very
I just
much.
don't. It's just I think I respect it so much because I don't see it that much in myself. Like I would never go to Mexico just to learn Spanish, or Spain to go learn Spanish. But maybe I would. Who knows? I don't know. I also didn't think that I was gonna do a lot
I
of things
studied
here.
Spanish at school for 3 years. Well, now I forgot many things. It was long
Exactly.
ago.
You forget it
But well, yeah, of course you forget
if
it
you don't
after some
use it.
time, and
Yeah.
it was like 10 years ago. So,
Exactly. Yeah.
but it was so fun. I really loved it,
See, you
actually.
like to learn. So have you always been someone who likes to learn? Are you someone who likes to learn new things?
Actually, yes, I think so. As far as I remember,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I was good at school when I was, primary school, and
Mm-hmm.
also later. Well, of course, better at primary school. But yeah, I've always liked to learn,
Yeah.
of course. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, then, I mean, it's just I like to learn too. It's just that it just takes me a while to be interested in something. So I don't know. If you're interested in something, then you want to learn it. But if you don't care about it, then you're just like, ugh. But I don't know.
It takes a lot of motivation.
It does.
That's something that's when you have it, you can do
Mm,
anything.
right. Tell me about how you sort of got into traveling and touring. How did you start getting into that?
Um, how did I start? Um,
Because you said that
well,
you worked outside of home, and that sort of got you into traveling. So what was it that got you to tour and start touring the world and such? That what was the beginning of that?
I decided that to be more prepared for my master. It's always like everything towards the
Wow.
goal of the master.
Yes.
Um, I um, I wanted to get better and better, and I decided to attend master classes and workshops, and they were abroad. So
Oh.
that's how I started to do that, and
Wow.
that also gave me a lot of confidence because it was on my own. I
Mm-hmm.
just went on my own to these places, and the more I did it, the more confident I got.
Yeah.
So yeah, I went on my own to Slovenia, which is like a small country on the border with
Yeah.
Italy.
Mm.
But you would think it's kind of close, but well, I'm from the south, so anyway, it's not close. and it's a pretty long journey by train that
Mm-hmm.
I did.
Oh.
So that was a very very long journey, and I remember on the way back, I had kind of a misadventure. I almost got lost in the middle of nowhere,
Yeah.
and
Wow.
I think of it now and I laugh, but in that moment it was like,
Stop.
okay, like fortunately I made it.
Wow.
I was like, yeah, the train was not going, so they gave us a bus.
Uh huh.
And I just, instinctively thought, okay, the bus will, take the same route of the train.
Yeah.
That did not really happen. Uh, so they stopped somewhere like in the middle of nowhere, in the middle of the mountains, and
Whoa.
there was nothing there. There was only a very small, tiny station,
Yeah.
and no houses, nothing, just green,
Yeah.
all green. And I did not notice that everyone got off of the bus, and I was just there because no one spoke English in that bus.
Whoa.
Everyone was talking Slovenian there. Of
Oh.
course, I don't understand a word of
Right.
Slovenian.
Right.
So when I realized that there was something wrong going on, it was already like everyone was already out of the
Yeah.
bus, and I got off, and there was my luggage outside of the bus. I was like, oh, okay, and like the driver was like telling me like with gestures like you have to go there, and there was another bus that I had to take that finally
Yeah.
took me where I had to go to. But I was like, okay, and I just took the train like it left like 30 seconds after I got on.
Whoa.
So I was like, oh my god, I just took it on time. Otherwise, I don't know what would have
Yeah.
happened.
That seems scary. That's a scary situation to be in when you're in a country where you don't understand what everyone's saying, and you don't know what's going on, and all of a sudden it's like, okay, get off the bus and here's your bags, go figure it out. And it's like, okay, but you figured it out, and you made it,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
you
yeah.
lived to
The
tell the
important
tale.
thing is, sorry, the important thing is like to take things lightly, like to know you're gonna get a
Mm,
solution, then you will
yeah.
you will find one. So.
Have you ever really found yourself in that position of taking things too seriously, where you start to almost beat yourself up because that wasn't perfect, or that like have you ever taken the situations too seriously where it was where it wasn't really beneficial for yourself to sort of, to put yourself in that position where you're sitting there like beating yourself up or, do you understand what I'm saying? Have you ever been in that position where that has been a problem?
You mean like when I was traveling or?
Yeah, well, I'm just saying, like, if you've been in a position where you had, where you did take it too seriously, have you ever been in a situation you took too seriously that you shouldn't have? I guess what I'm thinking,
No.
I guess what I'm thinking of is like when I was a younger musician, I used to really get upset at myself if I messed things up, if I like hit a wrong note, or if the set didn't go the way it should, or if something went wrong. Afterwards, I would be like, "Oh, you idiot!" It'd be so silly. Like I would be taking it too serious when really it's like we're here to have a good time. We're here to put on a show. Mistakes are gonna happen. Have you ever been?
Oh no, yeah, that happened. Well, of course, when after
kidding.
a performance, I did get that.
But
Of
I'm saying,
course.
is that something that you still deal with, or is that something that you've gotten past?
Well, actually, I might still have to go through that sometimes,
Yeah.
because you want to be perfect, of course.
Mm,
Like it doesn't exist being perfect, right?
right. Right.
But you try to.
Mm,
So if there is something that doesn't go the way you want to, like also just some wrong notes or
right.
something like that, well, of course you're gonna say afterwards, oh yeah, but then I try just not to think of it
Yeah.
too much. So
Yeah. You know what? What's really interesting is that I've gotten past that thing where it's like, oh, you messed up, that was stupid, and you're being mean to yourself. I've gotten past that, but it's sort of reemerged with this, like, because we're streaming on Twitch right now. Twitch is a streaming platform that was created for gamers, but now there's musicians on it and talk shows and all kinds of stuff. I get that now with Twitch. Like, if I like, oh man, I should have rated that person, which I know you probably don't know what any of that means, but I should have did this or I should have did that, and now it's just funny. It's funny because like as a musician, I don't care if I make a mistake. I've gotten so comfortable on stage that I'll go like this. I'll be like this. I'll be, oh, geez.
on stage.
I'll do that on stage in front of a packed house. Because I don't care. I'm that comfortable, which I should care enough to be showered and have, not smell bad at a gig. But, you get to a point as a musician where it's like, I look nice, we're out. But in any case, yeah, I should probably still refrain from smelling bad on stage. But it just showed, like, I realized that I was doing this on stage, and I was like, oh, I'm that comfortable with being on stage that I really don't care. It's like those people don't exist until I need them to exist because it's very. I'm sure you've dealt with this. Have you ever sang to like maybe a restaurant or a nightclub where like no one's in there, no one's paying attention, or you're and afterwards you just feel like you just ran a marathon, you're exhausted, you just feel like, have you ever dealt with that where you're singing to a crowd that doesn't care and is unresponsive? Is that been in, have you ever had to deal with that?
Well, I had to deal with people chatting during a concert, of course, or looking at the phone.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course that happens. That happens, especially if you sing at restaurants. That's gonna happen, of course, because you're gonna just be a background for people
Right.
eating or talking with their friends.
Right.
So yeah, well, of course it happened in that kind of environment.
Right. Yeah, I couldn't imagine at Tomorrowland Music Festival people were on their phones, like not paying attention. Like when you see that crowd, they're
that
like,
was something else. That was completely something else.
Yeah.
I've been lucky enough to perform at those kinds of environments.
Yeah.
And that, of course, that's
different.
amazing.
Yeah. People are there to see you. There's a huge difference between someone who's going to get dinner and there just happens to be someone performing than there is someone who bought a ticket to go see a show, made
a pretty expensive one.
Expensive ticket to go. Yeah, you're going with a purpose. But when you're at a restaurant, people are there with their family. They don't care. They're just trying to eat their food and get on with their day. But it is, when you're in those situations where you're playing to a crowd where no one seems to care, it is exhausting to me. And I just sort of like after those kind of gigs, I'm just like, ugh, I don't. You just feel like, why am I doing this? But I forgot what the point was. Gosh darn it. Oh, well, it don't matter. I guess the point is that playing for people who don't care is not ideal.
But even in those kinds of situations, sometimes I thought that maybe people were, not caring about the concert, but I've had, surprises of people coming to me afterwards and, complimenting me. I got money too, also from people. Like that they really loved the concerts, and all people that told me, today it was my anniversary with my wife, and you really made our night.
Right.
So even in those situations, I've had surprises, which I thought, okay, then someone was actually listening and they really loved it, and they came to me to tell me. So that was really nice.
Right. Yeah, and that's the other thing is, like, if you ever are as a musician in that position, is like you shouldn't just be like, well, no one's listening, so I can just do whatever I want, play poorly or whatever it is, or not put your full energy into it. Because there might be someone in the crowd who's not clapping or maybe even making eye contact, but someone who's being truly touched by what you're doing, and you should respect that because, respect people's vibes, man.
That happens. Like people that were, not clapping, and then they came to me in the
afterwards,
end. So you
just
never
don't
know. You never know. I've seen people crying. And in the end, they came to me and they told me it was like positive crying. Of course, I would not want, to make people cry.
Philomena's out there making people cry. Hey, lady, you're fat and you smell bad. She cried.
I would never say that.
I'm just joking. You moved her to tears with your voice and talent. That's what we're talking about. Yes.
Yeah. So it happened like more times, and I was really flattered. Also really happy about it.
I mean you definitely should be. So how did you end up at Tomorrowland? How did that all come across? Because if you go on her, which you guys can click on the links in the chat here, it leads to her YouTube, and she has what I think of almost the whole performance of her singing on at Tomorrowland. So how did you get involved with that? That was through an orchestra, right? I have to say that was an incredible performance by everybody there, because I love that they mixed the symphonic with the electronic music, and it's actually a really awesome video. You guys should definitely go check it out. I'll put a link in the chat for you guys so you can check it out. Copy link. There we go. Guys, check this out. It's pretty cool. But you know what? We might as well just have some fun, right? We'll hold on. Just give me 1 second, Filomena. I'm gonna set up. All
the seconds you want.
Thank you. I just want to. I'm gonna show people what I'm talking about. Why we're sort of talking. Oh, that's not the video. Thank you for the woo, Reina Mystique. I appreciate the woo. Where is it? Is it Symphony of Unity? Is that what it is? Is that the one?
Yeah, that's one of them. I've been involved in 2 Tomorrowland events, and that's one of them.
Okay, so this is at tomorrow. Oh my God, this is so cool. You guys are gonna like this. Okay, so I'm just changing screens here so they can see what we're talking about, why we're talking about it. So how did you get involved with with and end up on the stage?
Okay, so like I was saying, I was involved in two Tomorrowland events.
Mm-hmm.
The first one, I was involved because, well, I graduated in a Dutch conservatory,
Mm-hmm.
and there is this very famous orchestra, Dutch orchestra, that has won like multiple Grammy awards, and they have an academy. I'm talking about the Metropole Orchestra.
Okay.
Metropole Orchestra. Oh, that's me. I see myself. So, okay, and they have an academy, and they, put a post of a job.
Oh.
And for people who were graduated or they were attending a Dutch conservatory, graduated in the last 5 years, though not afterwards. And I sent my application to the job, and well, they chose me for the job, so I was pretty happy. So that was the Tomorrowland Belgium, the one that everyone knows. And then after that, there was Tomorrowland Our Story, which is it was an event last October 2019 for the 15th anniversary of Tomorrowland, and it was at the Ziggo Arena in Amsterdam, in the Netherlands. And that time I did not play with the academy, but I played with the actual Metropole Orchestra. And they called me.
I'm so sorry to interrupt you. I'm so sorry. We have a raid from Aaron Goldberg. 47 people. Thank you for bringing your people over here. Aaron Goldberg. Oh my God, you are amazing. You're just a champion among men. If you guys don't know who, hey Valo, welcome. Girl 2.0, thank you so much for that subscription. I appreciate it. Right now we are talking to Filomena Croce, who is an Italian singer. This is what we're seeing right now is thank you so much for that follow, Mexico. Don't know if I'm saying that right, but what we're watching right now and what we're talking about is a very big festival in Belgium called Tomorrowland Music Festival. And our guest was graced the stage with her beautiful voice, and we're talking about that right now. So thank you guys for coming in. This is mostly a music podcast, but we do have live music performances sometimes, and I do live loops sometimes too. Not as cool as Mr. Aaron Goldberg, of course. Mine are all like in an iPad. Mine are all pre-made, so. But Aaron is on another level with live looping. Yeah, well, I appreciate that, Girl 2.0. It means a lot. I'm sorry I missed you. I'm great. Oh, sorry. Oh, you're talking to someone else. Anyways, yes. Thank you guys for being here. I definitely appreciate the raid. Thank you so much. And we're going to get back to our guest here. And you guys make yourself comfortable. We're chatting it up. We're going to be playing a game a little later for a chance to win some prizes, some patches and stuff. So hang in there. We're having a good time over here. Thank you guys for being here. So good to see you, Mike. Sorry to interrupt. Looking forward to the rest of the interview while I clean. Yes. No worries, man. You did not interrupt. This is wonderful. I really appreciate you bringing your people over here to watch us chat. So anyways, Filomena, you were saying, you were talking about the second event, right? We were talking about how you were involved with the second event at Tomorrowland.
Yeah, that time, since I participated in the first Tomorrowland event, the actual Metropole Orchestra, like the original one, the one that won the award, sent me an email, and they asked me to work also for the second one. So that was pretty amazing. I was like the Metropole Orchestra is emailing me. So I was like, okay, yeah, let's do it. And it was amazing. Also that one.
Yeah, well, tell me about your experience on being in a crowd like that, because I mean that's a festival. Like I said, I heard of that festival. I mean, that looks like there's like 60,000 people there. What do you know what the size of the festival was?
Each year the festival is having 400,000 attendees.
I said 60,000 people.
Spread into weekends.
Right, I see.
But because they cannot be like all together.
Yeah, this
at
ain't
once.
Woodstock. Yeah.
But 400,000.
Wow.
So it's almost 500,000
Wow.
people attending per year into weekends. So that's a huge festival. It's like one of the most important in the world. And our performance was watched by millions of people, like in between, the streaming and YouTube and like different platforms. Like millions of people watched it. The Symphony of Unity, the one that we played, and it was amazing. When I was there, it was like, one of the best moments of my life.
Well,
for sure.
Explain that to me. How did it feel to stand in front of a sea of people while doing what you love to do? What's that feeling like? What was that experience like for you? Thank you very much for that follow.
In that moment, I just, felt like all the efforts and all, the sacrifices that I had to, go through, all the troubles I had to go through, they were worth it.
Yeah.
It's like I took a deep breath before starting, and I was like, this is it. Like my entire life led to this moment. Well, of course I will keep doing that. But like that moment, I realized for sure, one of those moments, like, okay, everything was worth it.
Yeah.
This is what I was born to do, and I will just keep doing that.
What you don't have to give me any exact numbers. Was it a good paying gig?
Yes.
Good. I'm glad. Festival. There she is. There's Filomena. We see her. That's Filomena. Oh, look at that.
Yeah, that's me.
That was some straight up. That was full frame camera shot right there. Nice. Yeah. That's so cool. That is so cool. I've had a chance to play some big festivals, and I always love playing big festivals because I always like playing big festivals. I don't like attending big festivals. And I know that doesn't make sense, but it will. Because when you attend a festival, you have to buy a ticket, which is way overpriced. Well, not really overpriced, only because you're getting so much out of. If you're going to a good festival, you're getting a lot of music for your money. But you attend a concert, you buy your regular ass ticket, and you gotta get herded to all the different stages with the rest of the people, and you're in a crowd of people, and you're hot. You don't have much to you don't have the amenities of just being able to go and get a water out of the coolers. You gotta go fight through the crowd, get in a line. You gotta stand there for 20-30 minutes as the band plays that you're trying to see, just for your beer or your nachos or whatever. And then you gotta fight your way back through the crowd, try to find your people, and it's too much. It's too much. But
I also don't attend big festival.
But if you're playing a big festival, you get to go backstage. You get to walk to any stage you want to. You get to have food. You get to hang out with artists. You don't have to hang out with the drunk assholes who are just lingering around, being all grabby. It's like you get to just hang out. You get to watch the show from like side stage or right up front. I'd much rather play a big festival, which sounds very elitist, but I don't care. I've worked a long time to play big festivals, so whatever. Playing festivals is the absolute best. You not only play, but also attend for free and basically get treated like a king. Yes, Mr. Goldberg, you are absolutely correct. I am great just getting used to Twitch timings. Okay, sorry. That's a different conversation. Sometimes they're having their own conversations, so I don't. Or you just sit way back on the blanket. Well, yeah, you know what? Girl 2.0, I get it. Oh, we got a commercial here, folks. Get that commercial muted. Oh, gosh. Sorry, everybody. Anyways, yeah, you sit back on a blanket and enjoy. Yeah, I get that, but I don't know. When I was younger, I used to go to concerts, and I came to play. I was not messing around. I was there to get into the crowd, to feel the vibes. now that I'm older, I'm just like, oh man, I wish these vibes would give me a little space, you know? Like, I just need a little space. And that's why I don't go to, I don't fight the crowds either. I just, the surefire way to avoid the crowds at a concert, at a big festival like this, just play it. Just play the festival. Easy solution, folks. Just play it.
Yeah, I could, when I went to Tomorrowland, I could just go with my fellow colleagues, to just, explore a little bit.
Yeah, you get to
back
hang out
and
with
forth. But I could not go really everywhere, I have to admit. Like there were some areas that where we were not allowed to go into because they were like VIP things for people that really paid a lot of money.
This is the $15,000 ticket area. Yeah.
I don't know then how much the VIP paid, but so there were a few areas we were not allowed to, but we were allowed, most of the areas, and that was so cool. And we could also like explore it before the crowd was there, because we were there since early morning. So when there was no one, also we could just go around and explore,
which is really cool to be able to go in those big spaces, because when you're standing in an arena when it's empty, it's just something weird about it, right? Like something cool, it's just like this big open space, and then you're just imagining all the bodies in there just smashed together, sweating on each other. I can imagine one of these big festivals these days. I mean, my God, what do you think is going to happen to these big festivals? I mean, I guess for at least for a couple years, right?
Yeah, well, of course, we're all talking about COVID. That was a big challenge and a big problem this year. This year, like, of course, went differently than I thought it would go. How it will be, well, in the end, it will go back to normal, but we will need some time. So things like Tomorrowland, I'm not sure they will. I don't think actually it will be like normal in 2021 for sure. Yeah, I don't know. Now Tomorrowland is doing like streamings, like from small studios or something. I don't know exactly, but I know that they are doing something without audience. So that's a new way to make music. I also made a few videos with my vocal group.
We played a couple of them before the show, so people could kind of get a vibe. Well, you know what? Tell me about your experience. So, like, what did your year look like? What did 2020 look like before COVID? And by the way, this is not the only festival that Filomena has been involved with. She's also been in the London Jazz Festival, which is an incredible jazz festival on its own. But this one just seemed very exciting. Not that the jazz festival was. I'm sure it had its own bag of excitement, but I mean, like when you look at what you guys are doing here and what's happening here, I love it. It's because you got the old school with the new school, and I just think it's so cool what they're trying to do here with the orchestra and the EDM artists are trying to do. Is this the EDM one? I can't hear it, so I don't know if this is the EDM one. I love that you guys had your faces painted too. That was so cute.
Well, no, I didn't have my face painted on that one. I did have it in the other Tomorrowland event. So I had glitters all over my face, on my hair, on my body, everywhere.
Yeah, well, the sacrifices for the art, right? We sacrifice.
It was so funny to do. I really wanted to do that because I saw the other, musicians doing it, like at Tomorrowland Belgium, and I was like, I also want to do it, and fortunately I had the occasion, to do it on the other one.
So tell me about what 2020 looked like for you before COVID hit. What how did your 2020 look like, as in music, and what you were going to do for the year?
Before COVID, I just, had quite some performances planned. That did not happen. They were all cancelled. I've lost concerts, of course, And also, I was planning to record my album earlier,
Mm.
so it was postponed. Fortunately, I was able to do it anyway, but in the last half of the year, actually less than half, like after September. Um, so yeah, but I was planning to do it much earlier. So actually, when COVID hit, like almost exactly.
Wow.
So yeah, everything just got either cancelled or postponed.
Mm.
And also with teaching, it was a bit difficult because then I had to switch to the online form of
Yeah.
teaching,
And how
which
was
well,
that? How was that for you going online, fully online?
teaching.
Yes,
Well,
teaching.
actually, it was not bad. I realized that it's fine.
Did you think it was going to
But
be bad? Were you like, this is going to be horrible going into it?
no, I never thought it was gonna
Mm.
be horrible. But I was a bit afraid, though,
Yeah.
slightly.
Mm.
But no, I never thought it was gonna be really horrible. And then when I actually started, I thought, okay, this is okay, this is fine.
Mm.
The only thing, of course, is not like being in person, because in person you can, uh, first of all, sing and play together without delay.
Mm.
Because yeah, online there's gonna be some delay, so it's a bit confusing. So you cannot really do things together. um, and also not all students were up for online lessons,
Ah.
because sometimes we're a little bit some were a little bit shy, because they were like, oh, there is my mother in the other room listening to me.
Yeah.
So I had that, which I respect that, of
Right.
course. I,
Yeah.
I understand, but
Yeah, well, singing is a very vulnerable thing. When you're singing, it's like it's literally the shape of your body. It's literally vibrations that are coming from the shape of your face, your skull, your your inside. So it's literally when someone doesn't like your voice, they literally don't like a piece of you. You know what I mean? It's like that's how I see it. Well, that's how my wife explained it to me once. She's also a vocal teacher, but actually she started doing online lessons years ago. So this was actually a very natural thing for her to sort of, yeah, well, we're just gonna continue what we're doing. But yeah, so like I just feel like singing is a very vulnerable thing. Like you're up there, you're putting yourself out there, and when someone can't sing, and when someone doesn't sing, or can't sing well, it really stands out, and not that I'm sitting here judging people who are trying to sing and who aren't experienced. I'm just saying that it's a very vulnerable position to put yourself in. So when you're talking to students who are learning or just learning, and they have like maybe an older brother or sister who like to make fun of them or pick on them or whatever it is, and they can hear them singing in the other room. And of course, they're just learning, so they're not going to be the greatest singers in the world. So they're sitting there saying, they're saying, and then you got the older brother in the other room just waiting, waiting for them to come out of the room so he can just trash him and tell him how bad he's like. That's a very subjective situation, but I get what you're saying. It's like you when you're learning something, you're not always great, and so when you're singing and learning it, you don't want people to hear how unexperienced you are.
but I think it's not only when you are at the beginning. It's also afterwards.
Yeah.
Also for me, I'm also like, if I have to rehearse something or study something, of course I like to be on my own, knowing that no one is gonna listen. So, well, because of course something is going on stage,
Mm.
and being fully prepared, and everything. But then when I'm studying and stuff, then yeah, I think it's normal to wanting to be on your own. It's something, that can, I think, more people might relate to.
Right. Yeah, totally. I mean, it's a big part of people not wanting to sing, and for, is for other people hearing them. It's like I don't. It's like karaoke, like karaoke was made for people who can't sing that well to get up there and just do their best. But it's just a nerve wracking thing, man. I started singing a couple years ago with this new when I moved to Ohio from California. I joined this band, and I had never sang on stage before, and I've only sang. I don't really sing. I just never been my thing as a singer. Uh, but this band, they wanted me to have a microphone. They were like, "No, we need someone to sing. So like, please just sing." So I'm not saying I'm great, but I've definitely gotten better over the last couple of years. But my God, those first shows where I'm up there and like, oh my God, it was horrifying. It was like I was which it was, I was a beginner again. It's like when you have to start over on something. Luckily, I've been singing my whole life in a sense. I'm not like professionally, but just walking around the house like do 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 do. But it's a nerve wracking thing to put yourself out in such a way. So your 2020 got shut down like everyone else's, and you started making videos and stuff. So what changed that allowed you to start recording your album? Which your album will be out in February, and it's called "Love Will Come Back." Her Filomena's new pop album, which will be out in February, everybody. So do go and follow Filomena and stay up to date with what she is doing. And I'm going to drop a link in the chat right now so you guys can go check her out. How did you, what changed to start and finish your album, to be able to start and finish your album?
Well, what changed is that I could, there was no lockdown in that moment.
Ah,
So yeah, because in March then we entered a lockdown,
right.
so it was not really possible. Um, so at some point I decided, first of all, I either do it now or I don't know when. So that was my thought. I thought really I have to do it now. So
Now
as
or
soon as
never.
it was possible, like there was no lockdown and
Yeah.
no anything, I was like, I'm gonna do it
Yeah.
now.
And now, did you record
Yeah,
this?
I just thought, it was the right moment
Yeah.
to do it.
Did you record this in the Netherlands, or was this in Italy?
No. It was in the Netherlands.
Because that's where you live currently, so that makes sense.
Yeah, in Rotterdam. Well, I recorded actually in Hilversum and Amsterdam.
Oh.
So I had to travel to go and record,
Mm.
but it was not a long journey anyway. It was,
But I
I
always
mean,
love
the
that.
Netherlands is so small.
I love traveling to go perform or go record. Like, to me, it's not that bad. Like, that's part of it, is like traveling to go record. Like, to me, I feel I'm doing something special, right? Like, I'm going somewhere and I'm going to record some music. Anyways, please, I'm sorry to interrupt with my silliness, but
Oh no, don't worry. It's fine. You can say your story, of course.
well, we're here to hear from you. So then, what was the process like for you? You said it was a pop album, so is there a lot of electronic type music on it, or is there a lot of real instrumentation? What's the feel? What's the makeup of the album besides being a pop album?
Uh, um, no, well, what came very natural to me it was not electronic,
Mm.
even though um, I am pretty versatile artist, so I do like different genre of music, but like regarding my own music, when I write, I like to be pretty traditional. So
Mm.
I use like the full traditional instrumentations, like real drums,
Mm-hmm.
guitar, acoustic guitar, and piano and bass. Like
Mm-hmm.
the real thing.
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't know, because that's what I'm used to anyway. Because like singing jazz and singing bossa nova, like Brazilian music, and that's what I've always been used to.
Mm.
So even though my songs are pop songs, but yeah, I just kept going with what I was used to.
Yeah. So are they going to be pop in the vein of like Brazilian type music, or is it going to be like pop jazz, or is it going to be more of a pop format, like I don't know,
No,
like
it's
Taylor Swift or something? I'm sorry. That was the first person that came in my head that's pop music. So I'm sorry. No offense.
no, it's no. I like Taylor Swift.
Yeah, she's fine.
Yeah, she's cool.
She's all right.
No, but it's gonna be like much more a pop format.
Mm.
Like I think I got inspired by Christina Aguilera's
Oh, cool.
a little bit. I think because that's what I used to listen to when I was like 15 or something, when I was a teenager. So I listened to the lyrics, her lyrics. They were like very, empowering.
Yeah.
So actually, my songs are pretty empowering. That's also part of my personality.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I have some of the songs. They are talking about personal growth and being confident with yourself. And, so that's, I think it's pretty cool. But it's gonna be like much more pop oriented. Also, like the structure of the song is like really pop structure.
Mm-hmm. Is it going to be in English or in Italian or Dutch? What's it going to be?
But you are lucky because it's gonna be in English.
We speak English good. Okay.
So you speak English? Good.
Kind of, yeah. Kind of.
So yeah, it's gonna be in English because that's what came natural to me to do.
Yeah.
It was not really natural to me to write in my own language, which might sound a bit weird, but it's what it is. I think probably in Italian it felt too much vulnerable to talk about myself.
Wow.
My text, like my lyrics, are pretty, personal, intimate. So really talking about my feelings and my life, like it's me, it's Filomena in there.
Mm-hmm.
So it's, I already feel like exposed with it. But if I did it in Italian, it would have been even more, probably. But even though like the words would be the same, because they're the same words that would be in Italian or in English, that doesn't change. But
Yeah.
I think maybe it's something in our brain when we switch language.
Yeah.
Probably like, yeah, with my mother tongue, it would have been maybe a little bit more confronting, I suppose. So it just, and also I felt that English was better, like how it sounded for for the pop genre,
Yeah.
to me. So I felt it was more fitting. So that's why I went with it.
I like it. I like it. That's awesome. That's really interesting. Is the language, how it would been taken differently if you sang it in Italian rather than in English. In what ways are you confronting some of your feelings in this? In what ways are you sort of putting your personal life into the music?
In my own songs.
In for this new album, yeah.
Well, because I'm really talking about things that happened to me. So it was, yeah, really putting down what I was living and what I was feeling.
Do you mind talking about what it was that happened to you? Or you don't have to. I don't know how personally you want to be, but I mean, you're putting it in a song, so I can't imagine you're putting it's personal. But what was sort of the event that inspired you for what you're talking about?
Well, of course, like it talks about my life and everything, but I'm not writing exactly this happened.
Right. Right. I get that. But I mean, what sort of are the events that inspired you to to do that? I mean, it sounds like you're,
So
like you said you were kind of confronting some of your own personal feelings and some of the stuff that's happened to you over your life. So, what are some of those things?
yeah, well, there are different things. Well, for example, one talks about like I lost a loved one
Oh,
that passed away. So I talked about that.
mm,
It's not really said who it is
right.
or, like really, but you understand that it's something like that.
It was, yeah, as a loss
Um,
was had. Yeah.
yeah, so yeah, one of them is about that,
Mm,
or another one is about a relationship.
mm,
um like going through hardships of a relationship together without giving up,
yeah.
because it's so easy to break up and
Yeah.
just go different ways. And I just wanted to say that it's worth it instead to fight for something that is it has value. So if a relationship has a value, I think it's worth it to fight for it, and
Yeah.
that's what that song talked about.
Yeah.
Or another song, which is actually like the song that gives the title to the album, "Love Will Come Back."
Mm,
It actually doesn't really talk about love, but it talks more about what we were talking about earlier, like being underestimated and being put obstacles ahead of you by people. So I had to go through that, and I'm just saying that I don't care anymore what these people say. I'm not gonna listen to it ever again. And when people spread love instead of hate, love will come back to them. So
mm,
that's what I mean with love
yeah.
will come back. You
Yeah.
will receive love in return instead of hate in the end if you just ignore.
Yeah. Ignore and put love out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that something that you had to learn over time, or is that something that you've always been pretty secure with? The idea of putting love out to receive love.
um well, I've always been a lovable person, I think.
Right, right.
But
I mean, how did you come to that conclusion enough to put it in that song?
you have to learn it, I
Mm,
think, or at least I had to
mm,
learn it. It was not an easy process, because for a very long time I struggled with people that told me things that hurt me.
yeah.
I got really, really hurt, like in a way that really, left a mark on
Yeah.
me.
Yeah.
I really had to go through like a journey of personal growth to get to that conclusion.
Mm,
So it was not an easy process
right.
at all, and it was like I got to it like at the end of my 20s. And so that's something you have to learn with time.
Yeah.
Probably time helps a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel that. I believe that too. If your actions are all from a place of love, the world gets better. Well said, Girl 2.0. Well said. I'm with that. No, that resonates a lot with me. That idea of putting something out there. Are you into like meditation or anything like that? Do you meditate or do you meditation? Are you into meditation at all?
Well, not lately, that much, but
That's okay.
I do believe in the law of attraction
Mm.
and the universe. And actually, I use meditation for like 6 months or something ahead of Tomorrowland.
Mm.
And I just imagined myself every night before going to sleep, singing like in front of a big audience,
Oh wow.
and in the end, it happened. So it works.
So were you doing that sort of to prep yourself because you were nervous because you were a little scared of that big crowd? Is that why you're sort of prepping yourself in such a manner?
No, no, not at all. I did not know about Tomorrowland before
Oh,
like when I
you
started.
didn't know what you didn't know what you signed on for.
Yeah, no, not at all. Because I started, well, I don't know, I think the end of the year
Yeah.
or something like that. But I got to know about Tomorrowland, I think, in June.
Okay.
So I did meditate every night before
Mm.
going to sleep, imagining myself in front of a huge crowd. Um, like, yeah, since the end of the year
What
before,
and why did you do that then? If-
because I wanted that.
Oh,
And
I
I
see.
wanted that to happen. And I was not thinking about Tomorrowland.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, I had no idea I was gonna end up at Tomorrowland.
Oh, okay.
Um,
But you use
yeah,
meditation as a way of sort of. I see what you're saying. You're saying that you were envisioning you playing in front of a big crowd every night for six
yeah.
months, and then all of a sudden you got an offer to play at Tomorrowland Festival.
Then yeah, all of a sudden, I got this.
I see.
I saw this,
Mm-hmm.
post from the Metropole about this job. I applied and I got the job.
Yeah. Wow.
And that happened, yeah, in June. I got the job. So yeah, it was not a very long
Wow.
preparation, but it
And
was very intense
mm-hmm.
preparation, even though it was not long. But yeah, I did not know about it
Right.
before, but that's what I really wanted. I was
Mm-hmm.
like, I'm doing this job, like singing. I'm doing this because I want to do that. I
Right.
want to end up there
Right.
somewhere,
Right.
somewhere this of something like
Yeah,
that.
and
So
so you
yeah.
sort of envisioned it, and you're sort of envisioning what you want, and so laws of attraction is what you're saying is the idea that every night you went to bed and before bed you envisioned yourself singing to a crowd, and you're putting the intention out there is like this is what I want. You're putting the intention out into the universe, and 6 months later, after doing this night after night, the universe responds with an invitation to Tomorrowland. That's really cool. That's really cool. That's really interesting. So, is that something that you've always sort of practiced in life? Is this rules of attraction thing? I know you said it took you some learning to sort of put love out to get love, but it goes in other ways too. Like for what you want in life, like you're saying, envisioning what you want for life, and
Yeah, well, it's not that I took a long time to put love to get love, but
mhm.
I took a long time to realize that uh, you know I would have had to ignore all those things. I've always thought that love was, a solution
Mhm.
more than hate. So that's something that I already had
Mhm.
in me,
But I was
because
saying,
that's me. I'm very kind natured usually. I might have my moments, but
hey,
usually I'm very kind and polite. I try to. So that's something I already had, but I needed, a long time to, just put aside, the hurt from people and have the guts to, tell them that's that was not okay for me anymore,
yeah,
and to tell them, that if you spread love, you're gonna get love in return, instead of hate.
yeah, yeah. I mean, that's. I guess I was saying, like, have you always believed in the rules of attraction? I guess is what I was saying. Is that something that you came to later in life?
I did not believe that before.
Mm.
I have to admit, I did not know
That's okay.
about the law of attraction
Mm.
until, yeah, actually quite recently. It's like maybe 3 years, 3.5
Mm.
years ago.
Yeah.
Um, so before I did not know about that at
What sort of
all.
brought you to that? What brought you to that conclusion, or at least to that idea?
Um, a very bad breakup.
Oh, okay. Some more love stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, very bad breakup.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was not feeling that well,
Mm.
let's say. So I started, researching and everything, and that's something that gave me a lot of motivation, and it helped me to go through everything, and
Yeah.
starting to rebuild my life again.
Yeah. I love that. Yeah, it's great. So then do you believe in the idea of fate? Do you believe in fate, like you're meant to do stuff, meant to be who you are? Do you believe in fate, I guess? There you go. That's the question.
um Fate, like destiny, you
Destiny.
mean?
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Destiny. Destiny was the right answer, or the right word. I was saying fate, but destiny is what I was saying. What I meant.
Um, well, I believe that you can create your own destiny.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I used to believe before that, whatever happens, happens.
Mm.
But yeah, not now anymore, because I just I had proof that we create our reality, at least in my life. Then everyone has their own experience,
Mm-hmm.
but in my life, yeah, I had proof that it was real, it was working for me.
Mm-hmm. Right. So you believe in the fact that you have to make your own destiny. It's like you can't just that things aren't predetermined. Things you have to create your what you want, and things aren't going to
Yeah.
just happen just because they were written somewhere in a pyramid
No,
somewhere
no,
thousands
you
of
have
years
to
ago.
work for
Yeah.
it.
Well, the reason why I brought it up is because I have that sort of same outlook on it, but but I was I don't know, I read this article or heard it on a podcast. I can never remember what I'm doing anymore. How I consume information is just a mystery to me these days. Like I'm either reading or listening or watching, so it all just comes together. So I'm just gonna say I heard it on a podcast. But but there's these researchers in Australia who were sort of proving mathematically that fate was sort of or destiny that was real, because they were able to prove the idea of time travel, and that there's this idea in time travel. I think it's called the grandfather theory. I think that's what it's called. But it's the idea that if you were to go back and let's say stop COVID, right? Like I'm going to go back in time and I'm going to get patient zero. I'm going to stop COVID so that we don't have to lock down. We all have our gigs. Everybody can go to festivals. Everybody can enjoy their lives like they used to. So like the grandfather paradox is what it is. It's the grandfather paradox. What that is that if you went back to solve the problem that you're trying to solve, then there wouldn't be a problem to solve. So if you went back to stop patient zero from spreading COVID, uh, there would be no reason for your future self to come back in time to stop COVID because there would be no COVID. So I know that doesn't make sense because we're talking theories and stuff. So there is no reason for you to go back in time if you went back in time and solved the reason you went back in time. I know that I'm sorry I even went here. I am. Yeah. Anyway, so the grandfather paradox was something that was sort of lingered in the idea of time travel. And so these Australian researchers mathematically found that no matter what you were trying to prevent, that the outcome was still going to happen regardless. So let's say you went back to stop patient zero with COVID, but in the process of stopping COVID, you caught COVID, and now you become patient zero. So like what they proved mathematically. Now this is all mathematically. This is nothing that's real. Real in the anyways, it's math. So what they're proving is essentially is that no matter what you do to try to change a series of events, the events are gonna happen regardless, a la Destiny. So it was just very interesting. Anyways, that was a very big me show moment where I was just talking a lot. So,
Oh, don't worry, don't worry. It's
anyway,
fine. I mean, those are interesting things to hear. So.
but I just thought it was such an interesting idea because of the idea of because I am that person who is like, you create your own destiny. You don't just sit around and things are just going to happen because they're predetermined by some, ancient alien in the pyramid somewhere. It's like you have to go out and get it. But now that I've sort of heard about this and I know this is all mathematic theory stuff, I mean, it just sort of puts a wrench in that whole idea. How does it fall on your ears as someone who, believes in creating their own destiny?
Well, yeah, no, that doesn't really change what I think. Well, this is, well, almost, like talking about religion. Like
Yeah.
everyone will have their own opinion about it. So,
Yeah, I feel
yeah,
it.
I can, just talk about what works for me.
Mhm.
And what works for me is that, and maybe it just doesn't work at all for other people. And it's just different ways of thinking. And it's yeah, we just need to respect everyone's way of thinking.
That's a very
I think,
diplomatic
yeah.
answer. Thank you. No, that's fine. Me too. Like I kind of feel the same way too. Is like, well, I still believe that you have to work for what you want. You can't just sit around hoping that destiny has something planned for you. But it does make me reconsider like what it means to, I don't know. I don't know. I really don't know. Wow. Anyways, do you hear that? Do you hear something, Filomena?
What? Some music.
Oh yeah. Do you hear that? What is that?
Yeah.
Do you know what that is? What
What
is
did you put?
what that is that means it's time for how much does it cost on Craigslist?
Oh.
Everybody, we're gonna play a game real quick, and we're gonna take a quick break, and we'll be right back in like a minute. So we'll be right back, folks. Just give us 1 second. You got time? You got like 10 more minutes?
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay, we're gonna get set up for the game, and we're gonna be playing How Much Does It Cost on Craigslist with today's guest, Filomena Croce. Stay tuned, folks. Okay, well, I can no longer use the Spanish flea as the music for games. So now I have to figure out what we're gonna use for the game music, and I don't even know. I don't even know I can't even do Scatman. I can't do Scatman. Oh, how about this? Okay, everybody. Welcome to everyone's favorite game, How Much Does It Cost on Craigslist? The only game where you get to bid on other people's garbage that they're trying to sell for way overpriced. How much does it cost on Craigslist? All right, so the game's pretty easy. I just, you know what? The Mango Bright, what's going on? I've been lurking this whole time, but I can't miss the game. Hey, you got it. Yeah, coins. So the name of the game is How Much Does It Cost on Craigslist? And it's pretty simple how you play. All you do is we're going to look at an item on screen here. I'm going to read the description, and you guys are going to bid on how much you think that item costs on Craigslist. And it's all US dollars. Sorry, overseas people. I know. Okay. Sorry, Filomena. I didn't mean.
Oh, don't worry.
But okay, so it's a super easy game. It's just whoever is closest to the actual price on Craigslist. So, and of course, the show is brought to you by MotedStudios.com. MotedStudios.com provides us with these patches that we're playing for. Today, we're playing for this neighborhood in San Diego called Hillcrest. We're playing for We Speak English Good patch. And the new thing up here we got is a WSEG face mask. And of course, Filomena, you are welcome to play. Well, you are playing. You are welcome to win the prizes just like everybody else. So let's.
Oh, thanks.
Well, I just did that whole thing. Wouldn't it be funny if I just did all of that weird thing that I just did just to say, and Filomena, I'm sorry, but you don't get to play. You just get to watch everyone else play. Okay, let's get the first item up for bid here. Here we go. We got 1850s or 1860s French ormolu clock. I have for trade or for sale this clock. It is a runner. I would trade it for Harley Newer, and Electro Glide. I don't know what that stuff is. If you have silver or gold, I would trade for that. Also, I would take blank cash for the clock. Thanks for looking. This is a Frere's clock. So I don't know what that means, and it was poorly written, but there it is, folks. Okay, so Filomena, how much do you think this item costs on Craigslist?
Oh my God, I have no idea.
That's okay.
How much it would cost.
That's the fun of it. That's the fun of it. Just guess whatever you think in US dollars, or whatever.
But it's like, which material is it?
No, how much does it cost? Like, so how much would you pay for this item? How much do you think this item cost in US dollars or whatever? I don't know. You don't have to say US dollars. I don't know if you use US money. But this is a United.
No, I've never used US money.
I'm sorry. Okay, so how about euros? How many euros do you think this would cost?
I don't know. 3,000. I have no idea.
That's
because
perfect.
I have no idea how it's made.
3,000 euros for, well, it's from the 1850s, so it is.
Maybe it's more then.
I don't know. Well, we'll see. Do you want to? So since you're new to this, do you want to change your bid? Just because you said 3,000 euros. And you weren't sure about the question, so I'm gonna allow you to change your bid if you want. That doesn't count for you guys. You don't get to. Once it's written, it's done. So, what do you want to keep 3,000 euros, or do you want to change it?
Let's say 5,000.
Perfect. 5,000 euros for Filomena. Okay, folks, let's get those bids in there. Go ahead. You got until the end of this song. Here we go. Bid. That's it. That's all. That's anybody. Nobody else wants to bid? All right. That's fine. No worries. Okay. Well, then we have Saucy Chicken Nugget says $19,000. Reina Mystique says $11,500. Girl 2.0 says $750. Mango Bright says 6,215, and Reina says 66,102 USD for Filomena.
Thank you, Reina Mystique.
She did the transfer or whatever it's called.
That's so sweet.
That is sweet. That is very sweet. Okay, and let's see, Mango. And then Mighty. Hold on, I didn't do this for Mighty. That's my time. Okay, there's my singing for you, Filomena. Okay, let's see here. Okay, I think we're ready. So let's get a drum roll, please. I gotta do this. There we go. Actual retail price on Craigslist: $8,000. $8,000, folks. Okay, so we got it looks like 11,500 is pretty close.
Yeah, it's the closest. Then.
Is that the closest? I mean, 6215 seems a little closer, right? Reina, can you do the math? I don't want to do the math.
I'm also not that good at math.
Mango Bright for the win. Mango Bright. Thank you, Reina. Mango sweeping up shop. Thank you so much, Mango. I have your mailing address already, but you can choose between these three amazing items. This is not from our sponsor, by the way. This was made by Reina. This was made by our cricket. Thanks for the vibe. Yeah, so there you go. Just whisper me or whatever in or DM me in the Discord and let me know which one you want. Okay, next and last item up for bid. So if you guys didn't play last round, that's okay. Redemption. Here we go. Merry Christmas Idea AVL 48-inch home floor loom with accessories. With the accessories. Here we go. AVL home loom with polyester heddles for sale. Warped. Oh my gosh. Only used several hours due to caregiving obligations. Thus, like new condition, original owner, loom and applicable accessories made of maple. Estimated cost to buy this new from the dealer is approximately blank. Okay, so how much do you think this item costs on Craigslist?
I need to think of it a little bit.
That's okay. That's okay. That's okay. And of course, oh, Joker coming in with that 5,000, the 5,000. What? Man, that's not a word. Oh yeah, by the way, I was going to say right now, everybody who's listening, if you guys are interested, on January 1st, on New Year's Day, while Reina Mystique is our guest, we are doing a live rap cipher thing. I don't know what I'm going to call it, but we're going to have people jump in the D, and we're going to have rap. So if you guys want to rap, freestyle, you guys got pre-made beats, send them prior to the show. So if you guys are interested, please do get a cipher, Joker, a cipher. Okay. That's what we're doing. Jump in the oh, I got you. Yeah. No, jump in the Discord if you are interested. We're doing it Friday at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We'll probably do it towards the end of the interview, so it'll probably be around 5-ish p.m. Eastern Standard Time that we actually do the cipher. So if you guys are interested, please get in the Discord and let me know. Again, if you want to do a freestyle rap, or if you want to do a pre-written, or if you have a track that you want me to play while you're doing it, just send me the links and all that stuff, and we will get. Yeah, no worries, Valo, no worries. I know you got a big guest today. Everybody, go follow Valo. He is having Tom DeLongchamp on the show today on his podcast. Valo does the Artist Eye podcast, and that's at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So please do go follow Valo, and let's go give him some love for Tom, which is a wonderful streamer. Tom thinks he's just incredible. He's been on this show. Valo, have him animate you. And have him make him do things, Valo. Force him to make things. I'm only coming here if there's Wu-Tang or Bernie Mac. There's still no Bernie Mac or Wu-Tang. So I apologize, Joker. We don't have that. All right, so back to the loom. Did you figure out a price yet, Filomena? Did you figure?
Yeah, I don't know. I think maybe 2,500.
2,500, perfect. 200,000, my goodness, 2,500 euros for Filomena, and that our lovely mod hopefully will do the transaction again. Okay, guys, how much do you think this item costs on Craigslist? Please drop your bids in the chat. Go ahead, and is this all new from everyone else? I can't. Yeah, this has to be all the stuff. So if you haven't dropped your thing in the chat, please do. And of course we'll do, I'm not going to do the penis song anymore because I just think it's just too obscene. 1 2 3 4, thank you. But you do have, I'll play the Sonic thing again. You guys go ahead, drop those bids, no, why not jump in the D? Yes, why not jump in the D? All right, let's go through these bids here. We got Reina Mystique says $450. Joker says $5,000. Saucy Chicken Nuggets says what does that say? That says 100,000, or is it 1,100,000? Okay, thank you, Saucy. I really had to work there. 1,100,000 for Saucy Chicken Nugget. Let's see here. Do we got any more? I think we do. Yeah. Girl 2.0 says $3,200. Your favorite today, 1,234. Valo Infinity, 1450. Mighty 1500. Mango Bright, 250. And wow, I'm lagging, I think. Me too. Oh, my bad. I didn't hear. Oh, and Filomena was 2,500 euros. So whatever that is in dollars, but we'll just call it $2,500 if we have to. I thought we speak English good. Well, yeah, we do speak English good.
We do.
That's the problem. I speak English good, not well. Okay. Okay. So there we go. All right. So let's get our drum roll going. In fact, we're gonna do, since we're doing oh man, I wish I could remember how to spell Hadouken. Whatever. We're just doing drums. Okay, drum roll, please. Okay, I did it wrong. Awesome. Wow. Well, I hear some bells going on in the background. Is church about to start?
Me?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Or maybe it's just because it's 9.
Oh, it's getting late for you. Okay. Oh, okay. Yeah. Do you live near like a church or something?
Yeah, it's pretty close.
Nice.
So that's why you can hear it. I am wearing the headphones, but you can still hear it.
That's okay. It's not a big deal at all. I actually appreciate it. Okay, everybody. We missed our drum roll, so let's just find out how much this item costs on Craigslist. $2,400. Filomena. Filomena. Let's see who has this, because Filomena said 2,500 euros, which is about $3,051. So let's go through here and make sure that so Girl 2.0, Filomena, no. Let me see. They're all spread all over the place. So what do you think? I think it's Filomena. What do you guys say? Yeah, Filomena. Reina has done the math. I say she wins. Me too. Filomena! Yay! Filomena, our guest, has won.
Wow.
Filomena, you can just email me a mailing address, and you can let me know. I'll show you the stuff that I will send if you're interested. Of course, you don't have to. We don't have to. If you're not interested in any of the items, you don't have to give me an address. It's totally fine. But we are gonna bring
No, it's fun. It's fun. I will give you my address.
Well, I'm just saying, some people are like, I don't want any of that, and that's totally fine. So just give us 1 second. We're going to bring our guest back so we could say goodbye in a proper manner. And we're going to stop the share here. We're not going to go nowhere. I'm still on the microphone thingy-majiggy here. So let's come back and say our proper goodbye to Filomena Croce, who was so lovely and wonderful to come on the show and talk about your new album, which is Love Will Come Back. And is there an exact date, or are you just going with February for now?
Yeah, I don't have an exact date.
That's fine. Well,
for now.
So again, everyone, please go and follow up Filomena. She's a wonderful and amazing vocalist. She's jazz, pop. And those are her links right there. You can go follow her, stay up to date. She has a new album, Love Will Come Back, out in February. It's going to be an English pop album. English pop. No, it's not like from England, but it's going to be a pop album that's sang in English.
So, yeah.
Just, anyways, Filomena, thank you so much. Is there any like websites or anything else you want to promote before we go?
Well, I think you have my links already. Well, my website is on maintenance, so I will have to share that another time.
Well, we can definitely put that in the actual in the audio release of this, which will be in a couple weeks. So, and if you have any songs that are available by the time the podcast comes out, I'd love to have them on the audio version if you're down. But if not, totally fine. I understand. Okay, so who we raiding, everybody? Who we raiding? Anybody got any good raids? I'm seeing we got the compliments, we got Budland, we got Wander. We just raided Wander. Who we raiding? Anybody? Raid. Raid in the let me see.
What is it?
Oh, I'm sorry. So you know how like someone brought like 47 people into the chat a while ago? They rated us. So what happens is that they'll Chris or Danielle. Oh yeah, let's go with Danielle. Chris is awesome. Everybody, we love Chris, but Danielle, I have not rated her, and I actually want to. Julian, blah, blah, blah. Is that the guy you sent me, Joker? No, I followed him. I would see him. Oh, Turtles and Chill is on. Oh, that's the guy that you told me about. Okay. Oh, he's starting up. Let's go with Danielle. We'll get him next time because I want Danielle on the show as well. But I don't want to like raid somebody with their holding on. Like, hey, wait a second. I'll be up here soon, starting soon. Okay, so we're gonna go with Danielle. Oh my gosh, I wish I could type and do stuff correctly here, but I can't. I'm just not great at it. There. My goodness, I am not good today. Whew, wow, it was a long. I hope everybody had a good weekend. I hope everybody enjoyed their holidays. I hope you guys are staying healthy and strong in life and in love. So be well, everybody. Oh, thank you, Mango. I always appreciate seeing your lovely username in the chat. So okay. Oh yeah, and there's the things. Thank you, Reina. There's the thing, and there's the raid call, and here's the other one. Yes, there's the other not so cool raid call. I like the new raid call. So please do copy and paste that into the chat. Let's give Danielle some love. She is fantastic, by the way. So you guys will not be disappointed in Danielle. So here we go. We're going to do it. I'll see you guys next time, Friday, with Reina Mystique. She's going to be our special guest. That's right, my wife. That's what I did. I put my wife on the show. Ha ha ha. All right, guys, we'll see you Friday. Oh, yeah, and the rap cipher. Don't forget, get in the Discord. Let me know. Drop those bars. All right.
And yeah, before we end, I wanted to thank you.
We just rated. I'm so sorry. We just. I'm so sorry. I should have asked you if you had any. Oh gosh. But we're still recording.
Say goodbye.
I'm so sorry, but you could say goodbye now, and you'll be able to say goodbye. This will be the goodbye on the audio version. So, if you want to say goodbye, go ahead.
Okay. Well, I just want to.
I'm so sorry.
I was waiting for my moment.
I know. I talk over everybody.
Don't worry. Don't worry. It's fine. Well, first of all, thank you, of course,
Of course, thank you. I really enjoyed talking to you.
It was a really, enjoyable conversation. Really funny. I had fun. So that's the important thing.
Right.
And also, I wanted to thank the people that followed us and wrote nice messages.
Yeah, and I'm so sorry.
In the chat.
I'm so sorry.